single dollar tried to measure me, tried to tell the whole store what I was worth, and I could feel it like heat on the back of my neck. The cashier tapped her red nail, said, "You're $1 short, loud enough for the cereal aisle to judge me, too." I had my daughter Zuri asleep on my shoulder, a threadbare lion named Leo tucked under her chin, diapers and formula on the belt. No candy, no extras, just survival. And I was about to slide the formula back when a voice behind me said, "Calm as a green light. I'll cover it." I turned and saw her stone-gray coat eyes level. No pity, no speech card out. Run it, and the beep hit like a church bell in my ribs. "Thank you," I said, swallowing pride like a dry pill, and she just nodded. Take care of her, then stepped back in line like buying diapers for a stranger was routine. In the lot, I buckled Zuri in, set the formula down like gold, looked at the receipt, small letters with a big feeling. Vivian Cross. I drove home under flickering streetlights, told my girl, "We're okay for tonight because sometimes that's all you can promise and still sleep." A week later, I was mopping floors at Northside Community Center in Milwaukee, nights mostly the kind of job where clean in, clean out feels like a prayer you can finish. Third shift in the director props a door for a donor tour, the kind with practiced smiles, and in walks the woman from the store in a navy suit and sneakers, hair tucked back, seeing everything. "Marcus, this is Ms. Cross Little Lantern. Wellness is funding the new child wing," the director says, and for a second, Vivian doesn't place me. Then I see it, a flicker, a memory developing, and we don't say a word about groceries or shame. She kneels in a classroom with toddlers and graham cracker hands like they're shareholders, and I think, okay, maybe she's the kind who keeps kindness quiet. 2 days later, they ask if I'll help with Family Day, a big outdoor thing, behind the Center Free Checkups music story, corner the city, trying to breathe together for once. I say yes, because I know what it is to need a place where a kid can just be loud without the world telling them to hush. We put Zuri in her cleanest dress, Leo under her arm, and I'm at the welcome tent handing out schedules while Vivian moves through the crowd like she was born to do triage on chaos. Around noon, a mom yells her boy's stomach hurts, then another kid goes down, and you know the sound fear makes when it hits a crowd, like the air turns sharp. Within minutes, there are 4 little bodies curled on the grass, EMTs jogging and parents shouting at whoever is nearest, and my brain clicks like a ratchet as I sprint to the snack tables. Little Lantern's packages are neat and orange-white, but there's a small open carton under the skirt of the table with off-brand labels and smudged dates, weak seals and crooked glue. "These aren't ours," I say, and Vivian is there already, jaw-tight eyes taking it all in. "Get them off the field," she tells volunteers, steady voice, then to me softer. "Someone put this here." My hands go cold. I've seen this kind of ugly. When you can't win fair, you poison the field. That night, Zuri is asleep on a staff room cot, Leo standing guard, and I knock on Vivian's office door while streetlight stripes cut the blinds. "I know I'm the janitor," I say, "but I've worked docks and back rooms. I've watched product slip through side doors that never should open. This wasn't a bad batch. This was deliberate." She doesn't flinch. "Renfield Brands has been leaning on us for a year." She says they buy cheap Sue loud and smile on camera. She will not accuse without proof. Then don't I tell her, let me go looking. She scans my face like weighing a bag of grain in her palm. "Why help me because you didn't look at my shirt and decide I was background, and because my kid was on that grass?" She nods an inch. That means yes. Quietly. I start with people who actually move boxes. Tito on the forklift owes me a Saturday Alma in returns, keeps paper like it's a second brain. Boots, the retired driver can smell a re-sticker from a mile out. A map appears, expired snack packs recalled in Indiana show up 2 weeks later, under a new shell distributor tied to Great Lakes Distribution, which keeps landing work whenever Renfield's numbers dip. Funny how fortunes travel. I ride a bus to a warehouse in Gary, where paper trails go to die, slip a dented side door, find an office with a calendar from 3 years ago, and a ledger taped inside a file cabinet, old-school chicken scratch that tells more truth than a press conference. Next to a route marked MKE Park Sat, there's a note in blue ink, Project Firefly, LL event, prepaid. Maybe they meant to frame Little Lantern. Maybe they wanted plausible confusion. Either way, it's a breadcrumb. I take photos of every page and ghost out when an engine growls and boots crunch gravel outside. I send Vivian one picture. She sends 2 words. Come in. She calls Monica Reyes a reporter with eyes like a lie detector, hands her the facts, says print what's true. 3 days later, the story drops, not loud, just steady dates and lots, and a blurry man in a red cap hovering near our tent, the kind of writing that lets readers do their own math. For a day, the wind shifts. Renfield doesn't do humility. 2 men in gray suits wait outside Zuri's school, smiles like plastic. They mention concerns, you're past a warehouse fight in Topeka, where I took a write-up so a guy could keep custody of his kid. Consider this a courtesy, one says, breath minty with menace. I tell Zuri to go to the car and lock the door, step closer. Say my name near my daughter again, and you'll be coughing it out. And yeah, that happened because fear and love are cousins in my chest. We try to breathe, and then, boom, another hit. A church hall showcase with balloons and folding chairs, kids gluing paper crowns, and suddenly 2 of them are sick at the refreshment table. Another siren, another forged receipt, another mystery carton that no one ordered. Vivian's bored, wants distance, wants a scapegoat, wants safety without sacrifice. She stands in a room full of watches that cost more than my truck and says, "If you're looking for someone to hang, look somewhere else," voice calm like the middle of a storm. That night, she's staring at a spreadsheet that won't look back, and I tell her the truth, I believe. We don't quit for optics. We either be brave together or hand this whole city back to the folks who think poor kids are numbers. We call a town hall in an empty warehouse, coffee and metal urns, no planted questions, just neighbors. First questions are knives. Then a grandmother stands, voice like gravel and sunshine. I saw that man carry my grandson to the ambulance and sit in the back when his mama couldn't breathe. You can't fake that. The room shifts, not a cheer, something heavier. And 2 days later, Monica gets an anonymous clip from inside a Renfield-connected warehouse, men in branded jackets, repacking expired fruit cups into neutral boxes, timestamps straight through our event week. The DA moves charges land, the headline flips, and Vivian calls me without words, because some victories are quiet on purpose. At the press conference, she says, "We were targeted because we dared to take care of families, the market forgets." And I step up in a clean shirt and say, "You tried to poison our faith. We're still here, not loud, just sure." It rises like thunder rolling from far away. The board goes from ducking to nodding. They ask if I'll take a role beyond mops. "Only if Zuri gets daycare without a wait list," I say, and the room laughs, and I feel something in me unclench. My badge says Community Liaison, then National Outreach. When the map gets bigger and titles don't fix the back pain, but they do change the way a door opens, you know what I mean. It should fade out right there, soft credits, but life likes a twist where you least want it. A smear photo pops up online. Me and Vivian outside a presser, her hand on my elbow, captions fishing for scandal, comments turning our work into a soap opera. Some folks say she's using me, some say I'm using her. Others act like a white CEO and a black single dad can't build anything without a secret script. We don't chase it. We film a single take, one chair, one camera, no edits. Vivian says I got rich young and learned slow when I saw Marcus. I didn't feel generous. I felt responsible for the space I take up. And I say I scrubbed floors so long, I forgot how to hold my head up. Dignity doesn't ask permission. It just is. She didn't give me mine, she noticed it. We post and go to bed. In the morning it's everywhere, not because it's glossy, because it's not. And people argue in the comments like Thanksgiving, which is fine, arguing means you're listening. The program grows faster than Sense Chicago-Baltimore places I've never touched, and we put up a billboard off I-43 that says Bright Roots with kids chasing a kite, and Zuri points out the window. That's yours, Daddy and I say. It's ours, tapping the steering wheel to some beat I can finally hear. On a Philadelphia rooftop, before the biggest launch skyline, loud and beautiful, Vivian leans on a rail and asks, "You ever get tired of fighting every day?" And I tell her the truth all the time, but quiet isn't the same as peace. Quiet is what they want from folks like me. Peace is when my kid gets to be a kid, and she smiles without showing teeth, and I like that about her. Cameras line up mics. Blink kids run through chalk courses like they own them, and I step to the mic with no notes and say, I was $1 short, and the world tried to measure me, it didn't. What measures us is what we do when the register beeps red, when a stranger steps in, when we step in for ourselves, when we build something. So next time there's no beep at all. Afterward there are hugs and good macaroni, and a city councilman who used to call us reckless says his sister needed us 3 years ago and nobody showed. He doesn't apologize, I don't need him to. On my way out, a man in a mailroom jacket slides me an envelope. No name, just a USB and a printed line. You think it was only Renfield? I sit in the truck engine, ticking Zuri singing the wrong words to a pop song, Leo hanging like a little ragged king, and I feel that old cold rise up, because maybe it's bigger than one bad actor. Maybe someone inside our house liked the machine more than kids laughing in a clinic hallway. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's the truth, asking if we meant it when we said justice out loud. I don't plug it in yet. I drive, and when Zuri asks, "Are we done fighting now?" I say, "We're done for today. Tomorrow we do the next right thing. So tell me what you think. Is charity just control, wearing nicer shoes, or can power listen, share the table and get out of the way? When a company gets caught dirty, do we hang one head and move on, or dig up the roots and replant the soil?" Drop your story in the comments. Argue it out with respect. Tell me where you're watching from and what changed your mind. And if you want more stories where the janitor gets a seat and the table gets bigger, hit like, hit subscribe, share this with someone who needs a reason not to quit today.